Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic!
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/zip to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. That's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
Welcome to Good Advice Givers, the podcast where real stories meet real solutions. Whether you're leveling up in life, navigating your hustle, or simply looking for wisdom that works, you're in the right place. We bring you straight talk, actionable tips, and uplifting conversations to help you grow in mindset, money, and motivation. Don't just listen, tune in weekly, download your favorite episodes, and if you love what you hear, donate to support the mission. Your support helps us keep sharing the good advice that changes lives. We're building a community of thinkers, doers, dreamers, and believers, and we want you in it. From interviews with entrepreneurs and creatives to personal reflections on real-world challenges, every episode is packed with practical value. Ready to grow with us? Let's get into it.
Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so the 2025 NFL Draft, it's done, it's dusted, the picks are in.
Yep, all wrapped up.
And while we're all watching highlights, the thing everyone's really jumping on right now, those instant draft grades.
Oh yeah, immediately. Forget the mock drafts, now it's evaluation time.
Exactly. So today, our mission for you is really to help you cut through all that noise. We want you to get a quick handle on what the experts are saying right now about the 2025 draft grades.
Especially for some of those big name teams everyone's always watching, give you that, initial consensus.
And we're doing this by looking at what you were searching for, sort of the digital breadcrumbs, right? We saw tons of searches for NFL draft grades, naturally.
Makes sense.
But also really specific stuff like Eagles draft picks 2025, Browns draft picks 2025, Cowboys draft picks 2025, Steelers draft picks 2025.
And the big names too, right? Like Mel Kiper. People want to know what he thinks specifically.
Absolutely. Shows just how much demand there is for that, instant verdict.
It really is remarkable how fast these grades pop up. I mean, the draft ends and boom, analyses are everywhere.
It's almost simultaneous.
Yeah. You've got guys like Mel Kiper at ESPN. You've got PFF with their data-driven takes, loads of others. They're churning out reports basically in real time.
It's like a rapid response operation for football analysis.
Yeah.
But, okay, when we talk grades, is it just like A, B, C, D, F, or is there more to it?
That's a really good point. Many use the letter grades, A+ to F. It's an easy snapshot.
Right.
But the real meat is in the why, the analysis behind it. It's about, the talent they pick, sure, but also how does that player fit the team's needs, their scheme, and importantly, did they get good value where they pick them? So, yeah, the letter's quick, but the analysis tells the story.
Gotcha. Okay, let's dig into some of those teams you were searching for. AFC North first. Always a tough division. We saw a lot on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers draft picks 2025. What's the likely story there?
Well, with the Steelers, there's always that consistent interest, right? People watch them closely. It probably comes down to a few things. Did they finally sort out the O-line? What about defense?
And the QB question is always lurking, isn't it?
Exactly, that succession plan, or lack thereof. So you'd expect the expert grades, the Steelers draft grades, to really focus on whether the picks actually addressed those specific kind of perennial needs. Did they build for the future and plug immediate holes? That's usually the debate.
Okay, moving across Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
The Cleveland Browns, also tons of searches. Browns draft picks 2025. Cleveland Browns draft picks 2025. What were people watching for there, you think?
Yeah, the Browns searches suggest, I think, a real curiosity about how they're building on that roster they've assembled. A lot of people feel they're close, you know?
On the verge.
They've spent big in some areas, like the D-line, so maybe the draft was about finding, I don't know, offensive weapons, secondary depth.
Complementary pieces.
Precisely. So the grades for the Browns would likely zero in on. Did these picks complement their strengths? Did they fill the remaining perceived gaps? Did they find players to push them over the top?
And even though we didn't see maybe the same volume of specific searches in our data for the Ravens and Bengals, they're obviously huge in the AFC North. What's the typical grading angle for them?
Oh, absolutely. They're always under the microscope. For the Ravens, you often see analysis focusing on their knack for finding value, especially in later rounds. It's kind of their trademark.
Yeah, they have a history there.
And for the Bengals, with Joe Burrow there, it's almost always about, okay, did they protect him? Did they get him more weapons? So even without specific searches popping for us, you can bet the grades are looking at whether they stuck to their known philosophies and address those obvious needs to, chase the Super Bowl.
Makes sense. Okay, let's jump over to the NFC East. Another division packed with rivalries. Huge interest, as you'd expect, in the Eagles and Cowboys. Eagles draft picks 2025. Dallas Cowboys draft picks 2025. Let's start with Philly. What needs were likely top of mind?
Well, the Eagles' interest, that makes sense. Recent contenders trying to stay at that level. Needs often circle around the trenches, right? D-line is huge for them historically.
Always is. Howie Roseman loves his linemen.
Exactly. And then secondary help, maybe some O-line depth too. Keep Jalen Hurts upright. So those initial Eagles draft grades 2025 are probably going to heavily weigh whether the picks address those spots as they get guys who can step in relatively quickly.
And then the Cowboys. Always a circus, always headlines. Cowboys draft picks 2025. Dallas Cowboys draft picks. High volume there, too. What are experts usually looking for when grading Dallas?
Yeah, with Dallas, everything's magnified. The national spotlight, the pressure, it's intense.
Tell me about it.
Expert grades for them often wrestle with their draft philosophy. Do they go best player available, even if it's not a screaming need? Or do they target specific spots? Did they find potential game changers early?
Right.
The draft grades for Dallas are always debated like, will these picks finally be the ones to get them over that playoff hump? That's the narrative.
And similar to the AFC North, we can't forget the other teams in the NFC East, the Giants and Commanders. Any general thoughts on how their drafts might be graded?
Sure. With the Giants and Commanders, depending on where people see them in their sort of team life cycle, if they're seen as rebuilding.
Which they often are, lately.
Right. Then the grades might focus more on, say, upside and long-term potential rather than immediate impact. Did they snag players with high ceilings? Did they address the most glaring holes? Is there a clear strategy visible in the picks? It's maybe a slightly different lens than for Philly or Dallas right now.
Okay, let's pull back a bit. Look at the bigger picture. That search for #1 draft pick, always massive. What's the deal with the pressure around that single selection?
Oh, the #1 pick. It's just immense pressure, isn't it? On the player, on the team, it's framed as potentially franchise-altering.
Definitely.
So experts dissect that pick more than any other. Can this player be a cornerstone for, like, a decade? The grade isn't just about talent. It's about the fit, the team situation, the whole strategy of using that precious pick. Was it a safe bet? A big swing? That's always the core question.
And we keep seeing searches about QBs pop up year after year. Bears QB, Jets QB 2025, even just what NFL teams need a QB. How much does landing or not landing a QB swing the overall draft grade?
Well, given how vital the QB position is, I mean, it's everything in today's NFL. Any team drafting a QB, especially early, gets intense scrutiny.
Makes sense.
Whether it's Chicago building around someone new or the Jets trying again for that long-term guy or just general curiosity, these QB picks can totally dominate a team's grade. Analysts look at the prospect, sure, but also the situation. Does he have weapons? Good coaching? Is he set up to succeed? That massively influences the grade.
And the analysts themselves. We mentioned Mel Kiper.
Yeah.
Searches for SPN NFL Draft, PF Mock Draft, NFL Mock Draft in general. They really shape the conversation, don't they?
Absolutely. Those searches just highlight the whole ecosystem. Kuiper, ESPN's coverage, PFF's analytics.
Yeah.
They create the framework for how we even talk about the draft.
Yeah.
And all those mock drafts beforehand, they set expectations. So when the actual picks happen, people compare. Was it a reach, a steal? That comparison, driven by the experts, feeds directly into the immediate grades people see.
It's not just who got picked either.
Mm-hmm.
People seem really invested in the event itself. We saw searches like, what time is the NFL draft? How many rounds in NFL draft day 2, day 3?
Yeah, that shows real fan engagement, doesn't it? People aren't just waiting for the results. They want to follow along. They understand the structure, the multi-day drama. They're invested in the process.
Right, wanting to be part of it.
Mm.
And finally, the really basic stuff, like where to watch NFL draft.
Mm-hmm.
Still popular.
And that just proves it's a major TV event, right? People want to watch it live, share the experience, react in the moment. That fuels all the instant analysis and the grade discussions we're talking about.
So, wrapping this up, these initial NFL draft grades, they're basically a snapshot, right? An immediate pulse check from experts and fans.
Exactly. Driven by needs, potential, perceived value, all that immediate reaction stuff.
But, and this is the key thing, it's just the start of the story.
Absolutely. The real grade, the true evaluation, that takes years. It unfolds on the field as these players actually, play football.
Totally. It makes you think, how different will these grades look in, say, 2028 or 2029?
Right. Will the A+ grades hold up? Will some C grades turn to steals?
And whose grading philosophy, which experts approach, actually proves more accurate over time? It's fascinating to think about the challenge of grading potential versus actual NFL performance.
Which leaves a really interesting question for you, the listener, to chew on. What are the real limits of trying to grade something so unpredictable? Predicting future success based on college tape and combine numbers. How much can we really know the moment after the pick is made?
Yeah, a complex puzzle indeed, and one we won't know the full answer to for quite a while. Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're trying to cut through some of the noise around the 2025 NFL Draft.
Yeah, there's already so much chatter online. It's kind of amazing.
It really is. The
Right?
anticipation builds so early. So what we're doing here is taking a look at what people are actually searching for, trying to, surface the main questions and interests.
Exactly. We've got this great collection of recent search queries all about the 2025 draft. It's like a direct line into what fans and maybe even some analysts are trying to figure out right now.
Okay, so the mission is basically to see what everyone's focused on regarding this huge event, even this far out.
Precisely. What information are people actively seeking? Let's break it down.
All right, so what's jumping out first? I guess it's not too surprising, is it? It seems to be all about specific teams.
Oh, absolutely. Loads of searches like Eagles draft picks 2025, Browns draft picks 2025, Cowboys draft picks 2025.
Yeah, see, Steelers draft picks 2025, Raiders draft picks 2025 too. It just goes on and on.
It does. And it clearly shows that, for a lot of fans, the draft is fundamentally about their team. How's my team getting better?
Right. How are they building for the future? That makes total sense. It's the main way teams bring in new talent.
Yep. It shows that personal investment fans have, wanting to track how their own franchise is planning to improve.
Okay. Beyond just the teams, what else are people zeroing in on? Timing seems huge.
Definitely. We see what time is the NFL draft start time, when does the NFL draft start?
And even drilling down into specifics like NFL draft day 2, NFL draft day 3, or when is round 2 of the NFL draft?
Right. People are clearly planning around it. It's become this multi-day event, a spectacle almost.
Yeah, they want to catch it live. They don't want to miss the picks for their team or the big trades maybe.
Exactly. Knowing when to tune in is critical for them.
Which naturally brings us to the draft order. Another big one.
Oh, yeah. Just draft order or NFL draft order, 2025 NFL draft order. Lots of variations.
Even second-round draft order. So understanding the sequence is key.
It really is the backbone, isn't it? It sets the stage for everything, the strategies, the potential trades. You need that roadmap.
Okay, so teams, timing, order. What happens once the picks actually start rolling in?
Well, then it's all about the instant analysis, right? The grades.
Right. NFL draft grades 2025, team draft grades, even specific ones like Steelers draft grade.
People want that immediate verdict from the experts. Who won the draft?
It's funny how much weight those instant grades carry, even though we know things can look very different years later. Why do you think people need that immediate validation?
That's interesting. I think, well, partly it's just wanting a quick assessment, a way to feel good or maybe concerned about your team's haul compared to rivals.
Yeah, bragging rights maybe.
Or just talking points. It fuels the conversation immediately after the picks are made, creates that instant narrative of winners and losers, even if it's, very premature.
Yeah, and we're also seeing interest filtering down into the specific rounds.
We are. NFL Draft Round 2, Round 2 NFL Draft, NFL Draft Round 4, Round 3 NFL Draft, and of course, the first round stuff too.
So it's not just about the glamour picks at the very top.
No, it shows a deeper understanding, I think. Fans know that crucial players, starters even, can come from those middle and later rounds. They're invested in the whole process.
And if you want to follow along, you need to know how. Lots of searches about that too.
Oh, for sure. Where to watch NFL Draft, what channel is the NFL Draft on, how to watch NFL Draft, and just NFL Draft Stream.
Got to find it first. Accessibility is everything these days.
It really is. With so many different ways to watch TV, streaming apps, people need to know their options so they can tune in live.
All right, let's talk about the crystal ball gazing. Mock drafts.
Yeah, so many mock drafts. The volume is incredible.
NFL mock draft, 2025 NFL mock draft, then the specific analysts, Mel Kiper mock draft, Peter Schrager mock draft, Daniel Jeremiah mock draft.
And even player-focused ones like Shedder Sanders mock draft. It's fascinating.
It really speaks to fans wanting to, play GM themselves, doesn't it? To see the possibilities.
Totally. It's pre-draft entertainment, speculation, thinking about fits, about needs. And yeah, the popularity of certain analysts shows the trust people place in their predictions, or at least their perspectives.
Okay, so that's the build-up. What about when the draft actually starts?
Then the shift is immediate. It's all about real-time updates.
NFL Draft Tracker 2025, NFL Draft Results 2025.
NFL Draft Live. Live NFL Draft Live update. Anything to get that instant confirmation of who was picked.
People want to follow along pick by pick as it happens.
Absolutely. It's a live, dynamic event, and they want to be connected to that flow of information.
Now, you mentioned Shedder Sanders. We're seeing searches for other individual players too, right? Not just in mocks.
Definitely. Direct searches like Travis Hunter Draft, Dylan Gabriel Draft, Cam Ward NFL Draft.
And even things looking at potential, like Shedder Sanders draft projection or Jalen Milroe draft projection.
Or digging into athletic testing, even if it's early days. Jackson Dart 40 time, Treveron Henderson 40 time, or general interest Luther Burden NFL Draft, Nick Nash NFL Draft.
Best Rayar in 2025 draft, Treveron Henderson stats. It's like fans are doing their own scouting reports.
It shows a really deep level of engagement, going beyond just the team logo to understand the actual prospects entering the league, their skills, their potential fit.
And the whole thing is treated like a holiday on the NFL calendar almost.
Yeah, the constant use of Draft Day really emphasizes that. Draft Day 2025, Draft Day 2, Draft Day 3.
Plus all those start time searches we mentioned, it's marked on the calendar.
It's not just business. It's an event, a tradition for fans.
We also see some more fundamental questions popping up.
Right, like how many rounds in NFL Draft, or how many picks are in the NFL Draft, even how many picks in the first round.
It's a good reminder that the audience isn't uniform. Some people are newer to it or just need a refresher on the basics.
Exactly. It caters to a wide range of knowledge levels, from the hardcore follower to someone just tuning in.
And interestingly, some people are looking backwards too. 2024 NFL Draft.
Yes.
2021 NFL Draft.
Yeah, maybe for context. Comparing classes, seeing how previous strategies worked out or how certain players developed.
Evaluating past decisions.
Right. It adds a layer of historical perspective to the current draft.
Now, we touched on team needs implicitly with the team pick searches, but some searches make it explicit, don't they?
Oh, definitely. While interest in Eagles draft picks implies you're thinking about what the Eagles need.
Yeah, you also see things like Jets QB 2025, Bears QB, what NFL teams need a QB, Steelers QB 2025, Browns quarterback 2025.
Exactly. That quarterback focus is always there. It highlights how critical that position is and the constant speculation around which teams are looking for one.
And finally, one more piece of the puzzle. Trades.
Ah, yes, the wheeling and dealing. Searches like Eagles trade, Patriots draft trade, Eagles Broncos trade, or just the general term draft trades.
It adds that whole layer of unpredictability. Teams moving up, moving down.
It's a huge part of the draft's drama and strategy. Fans are definitely tracking the potential for those big moves.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey there. Welcome to Good Advice Giver. First, we want to start by saying a massive thank you for tuning in today. Whether you're a long-time listener or you're joining us for the first time, we're truly grateful to have you here. We know you've got a lot of options when it comes to podcasts, so the fact that you're spending your time with us means the world. So thank you.
That's right. We're excited to have you with us because here on Good Advice Giver, we cover just about everything. Whether you're interested in sports, relationships, sex, money, finances, business, digital marketing, music, education, movies, comedy, or something else entirely, we've got it all. No topic is off limits here, and we dive deep into real, meaningful conversations that matter.
We've also got a mix of male and female hosts, so you're always getting a well-rounded perspective on every topic we cover, from business strategies to personal development, from car shopping to digital products like affiliate marketing. We bring a little bit of everything to the table. Our goal is to offer advice, insights, and some laughs along the way to make sure you feel welcome and engaged, no matter what brought you here.
And it doesn't stop there. We're not just about giving great advice, we're about action. On this podcast, we even sell products and services we believe in, from affiliate marketing opportunities to cars and more. So whether you're looking to boost your business or find practical ways to improve your everyday life, you're in the right place.
As always, we want you to stay connected with us. Be sure to download this episode so you can listen anytime, anywhere, whether you're commuting, working out, or just relaxing. And while you're at it, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. That's the best way to stay in the loop for upcoming episodes, behind-the-scenes content, and even giveaways.
And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're posting extra content there, including video podcasts and deep dive discussions you won't want to miss. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what topics you want to hear more about.
Lastly, check out the link below in the description for exclusive offers, resources, and more ways to connect with us. We're here for you, and we can't wait to bring you more valuable content. Thanks again for tuning in to Good Advice Giver. Let's get started.
So, okay. When you step back and look at all these different kinds of searches together, what's the big picture? What does it tell you about the audience for the draft?
Well, the overwhelming picture for me is just how deeply invested and knowledgeable this audience is on the whole. These aren't just casual glances.
Right.
People are actively seeking information across the entire draft spectrum, from the big picture stuff like timing and order.
Down to the really specific details like individual player 40 times or team grades.
Exactly. And you see that cycle, the anticipation with mock drafts, then the real-time tracking, and finally the evaluation with grades. It's a continuous loop.
Yeah, for me, the main takeaway is just how active this audience is. It's not passive viewing at all. There's a real hunger for immediate info, for expert takes, and for understanding what their team is doing.
Agreed. It's that mix of wanting instant updates, but also wanting, deeper analysis. It shows a pretty sophisticated engagement with the whole process and what it means for the league's future.
So here's maybe a final thought to leave people with. What is it about the draft, an event that's all about the future, not immediate game action, that generates this much intense interest year after year? What does it really represent for you, the fans, and the league itself, beyond just picking players? Is it purely about hope? Is it the strategy, the chess match? Or maybe something else entirely that keeps us all so hooked?
That's a great question, something to chew on.
Definitely something to think about until our next deep dive.
Okay. The draft dust has finally settled.
It has, and the takes are flying.
Oh, yeah. You've probably seen, 100 different opinions online already. Now comes the tricky part, right? Figuring out what it all actually means.
Exactly.
Welcome to the deep dive. This time, we're zoning in on those immediate reactions to the 2025 NFL draft. We're talking about the initial expert evaluations, the draft grades.
Right. We're going to try and give you a bit of a shortcut through all that noise.
Yeah, cut through the clutter, understand the early buzz, who the smart analysts think did well, and maybe more importantly, where they're already disagreeing. Locking horns a bit.
Definitely. Because as soon as that final pick, Mr. Irrelevant, was announced, it was like the floodgates just opened.
Instant.
Every analyst, every data platform like PFF, Team Insiders, they all rush to get their verdict out there.
So our job here is to sort of navigate that flood for you.
Precisely.
Yeah.
We've looked at that first wave, people like Mel Kiper, obviously the PFF grades, reporters close to the teams.
Getting that inside scoop sometimes.
Yeah, and we want to highlight not just the A, B, C grades themselves, but the why behind them. Where do the experts see things differently? What's the reasoning?
Right, because you see that whole spectrum, don't you? From the instant gut reactions, the hot takes online.
Oh yeah, fans going wild in the comments.
So maybe the slightly more considered takes that come out a day or two later. But what are the pros saying right now, and why? Let's dive into maybe the AFC North first. Always a tough division.
Good place to start. Always scrutinized.
Yeah, opinions are rarely, let's say, mild there.
Yeah.
Let's kick off with Pittsburgh. Steelers draft picks 2025 was definitely a popular search. What were the first evaluations saying?
Well, the Steelers, it's interesting. There's some different viewpoints already.
Okay.
Generally, people seem to agree they did what the Steelers usually do, focus on strengthening the lines. Offensive line, defensive line. That's their traditional approach.
Building in the trenches.
Exactly. Now, if they did pick a quarterback, that's where the grades can really diverge. It depends heavily on how that specific analyst views that QB's potential, the fit.
Right, like a Kuiper grade might be lower if they didn't take a QB he loved early.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
He often values grabbing those top QB prospects. But then maybe a data place like PFF might love an offensive lineman they picked if their models saw him as great value, a big upgrade.
So we're looking for mentions of potential steals.
Right. Guys picked later than maybe they should have been.
Or reaches players they maybe took a round or two too early in some eyes.
That's exactly what we're digging into for the Steelers class.
Okay, makes sense. What about their rivals down in Cleveland? Browns draft picks 2025, NFL draft grades 2025 for them. Also getting lots of clicks.
Yeah, the Browns are a different case study, really.
Because of the draft capital situation, they've traded away some high picks.
Exactly. Fewer high-round picks means each one is under more scrutiny. So the grades often reflect, how effectively did they use those limited shots?
Did they maximize the value?
Did they complement what they already have? Fill those remaining holes, maybe at receiver or in the secondary. Did analysts think they got good value there?
Were there any surprises? Moves people didn't see coming?
That's key too. And how were those received? Because, look, if you have less capital, analysts can be pretty critical if it looks like you didn't nail every pick.
Like maybe they played it too safe, didn't take big swings.
That's a criticism you sometimes see leveled, yeah.
Yeah.
Did they really attack their needs aggressively?
Okay. And just briefly, the other two in the AFC North, the Ravens and the Bengals, any early vibe from the overall NFL draft grades or AFC North chatter?
Generally, for Baltimore and Cincy, teams that expect to be in the playoffs, the sentiment seems pretty positive overall.
Okay.
The analysis is looking at whether they added pieces effectively, maintaining that competitive edge without maybe reaching or overspending draft capital.
Just solid additions.
Yeah, trends suggest satisfaction, bolstering depth, adding playmakers, guys who might contribute fairly quickly. Seems like smart, solid drafting is the consensus for them early on.
All right, let's switch conferences. NFC East, another division where, let's just say fans are passionate.
And expectations are always sky high.
Definitely. Philadelphia Eagles first, Eagles draft picks 2025, and especially Eagles draft grades. Those terms are popping up a lot. What's the story there?
Well, with Philly, a lot of the grade focus seems to be on defense.
Yeah.
That was the big question mark coming in for many.
Makes sense. They needed help there.
So analysts are looking closely. Did they invest enough in the D-line, the secondary? Those areas felt like big needs, and the grades reflect that focus.
Seeing a mix of opinions.
Yeah, definitely a spectrum. Some more critical evaluations might say, hey, they missed out on some higher-rated defensive guys who were still on the board when they picked.
Okay.
But then the more positive grades might highlight value they found later, or maybe a smart trade they made. You want to look for grades that are consistently strong or weak across different analysts. That usually tells you something.
Good point. And their big rivals, the Dallas Cowboys. Always a lightning rod. Searches for Cowboys draft picks 2025, Dallas Cowboys draft picks, and just general draft grades for them. It's always huge.
Oh, yeah. The Cowboys draft generates clicks, that's for sure. And debate.
So what are the early evaluations saying? How did the experts feel Jerry and company did?
It seems like a bit of a mixed bag, honestly. Which isn't that unusual for Dallas, right?
No. Pretty standard.
Some analysts are definitely praising the moves to fix that offensive line. That was a worry last year. seeing those picks as, solid foundational moves.
Uh,
But others are maybe a bit skeptical about defensive picks or questioning the value they got at certain spots. Did they reach?
Always the question with Dallas picks sometimes. They can be polarizing.
Very. You might see a secondary pick that one analyst loved, sees upside, playmaking, while another just thinks, whoa, that was way too early based on my board. That kind of thing.
Okay. And rounding out the NFC East, the New York Giants. Based on NFL draft grades and searches like Giants Draft Picks 2025, what's the initial buzz there?
For the Giants, I'd say the feeling leans towards maybe cautious optimism.
Okay.
A lot of focus is on, did they address the key needs? They're still building. So the quarterback situation, obviously, receiver help, their O-line picks.
Do the grades reflect a coherent strategy?
That's what analysts are looking for. Does it look like there's a long-term plan in how they're building this roster? Do the talent levels match the draft slots? That's shaping the early grades.
Gotcha. So let's zoom out a bit from the teams. What broader themes or lingering questions are popping up from these first takes? We saw tons of searches for NFL Draft Round 2. People definitely kept watching after night one.
Oh, absolutely.
Did the overall grades change much after those big first-round splashes?
That's a really good point. Because while round 1 gets the headlines and those instant grades, the evaluation definitely keeps evolving.
Right.
Teams that nail their picks in NFL Draft Round 2, or even find gems on NFL Draft Day 2 and NFL Draft Day 3, they can see their overall grade shoot up.
Makes sense. The whole class.
Exactly. And the reverse is true, too. A great first round can be undermined if the later picks look like reaches or don't fill needs. It's about the complete haul.
We also saw a lot of interest in the QB draft class 2025. Specific searches, too, like Travis Hunter draft, though he's unique, but also Dylan Gabriel draft, Cam Ward NFL draft.
Right.
Did the grades for the teams who took those guys reflect how analysts saw that pick's value or potential?
Oh, definitely. Quarterback moves the needle like no other position.
For sure.
So drafting one, especially somewhat early, massively impacts a team's grade. If an analyst thinks a team got a potential franchise guy, big boost.
And if they think it was a reach. Or maybe a lower ceiling developmental guy.
Then it can drag the grade down, absolutely. For guys like Hunter, with that two-way potential, or QBs like Gabriel or Ward, it really depends on the fit, the scheme, the expected role.
And the draft slot, I guess.
Yeah. A later round QB might be seen as a smart, low-risk flyer that actually helps the value grade.
Interesting. And it's always fascinating to see how the actual draft lines up with the, million NFL mock drafts beforehand.
Yeah, mock draft season never ends.
When teams go way off script from those mocks, how does that usually play into these initial grades? Does it make analysts harsher?
It can, initially. When there are big surprises, teams going completely against the consensus mock. Yeah, it can lead to more critical first reaction grades.
Because the analysts had player X rated higher.
Exactly. They have their own boards, their own evaluations. If a team passes on their higher rated guy for someone else, the gut reaction might be negative.
But you have to remember.
You absolutely have to remember that teams have way more information. Their own scouting, medicals, interviews, scheme fit, things the mocks just can't fully capture. Sometimes those wait what picks turn out brilliant later, even if they got panned initially.
Good reminder. And just the sheer volume of searches for stuff like NFL Draft Day 2, NFL Draft Day 3, and people using tools like the SBN Draft Tracker or checking NFL.draft and Yahoo Sports. It shows this isn't just a one-night event for fans either.
No way. It's a multi-day obsession for a lot of people. The draft is a process, and the story keeps changing pick by pick, day by day. Those trackers let everyone follow along and keep forming opinions way beyond the first round.
So as we're wading through all this initial analysis, these draft grades so far, it's important to remember who's doing the grading right.
Crucial point.
Guys like Mel Kiper, he's an institution. His opinion carries weight, obviously.
But
different analysts have different methods.
Totally different approaches sometimes. You take someone like Kiper, more traditional scouting background, might prioritize certain traits or positions. Compared to, say, PFF, which is heavily data-driven. Advanced stats, performance metrics, that's their bread and butter.
And then you have the team beat writers.
Right. Who are embedded. They understand the team's specific needs, maybe the coaching staff preferences in a way others don't. Their grades might reflect that inside knowledge.
So to get the full picture, you really need to look at a few different sources.
I think so. You need to consume a variety of perspectives, understand the different lenses these draft grades so far are viewed through.
Absolutely, because these initial grades, they're really just the first impression, a snapshot after a huge, complex weekend.
Exactly right. The real grade, the ultimate success of these draft classes, that's not decided by a letter handed out hours after the draft ends.
Nope, it's decided on the field.
It's measured by performance, by development over years, how these guys actually help their teams win or lose.
So as you keep following your team, keep tracking these rookies. Just remember, this evaluation is definitely a marathon, not a sprint.
Well said.
These first grades, they give us a fascinating starting point. They show the early consensus, the debates, but the real story, that unfolds on Sundays in the fall.
Couldn't agree more. It'll be fun to watch.
Definitely will. Thanks for diving deep with us today. We'll be keeping an eye on how these classes develop right along with you.
Welcome to Good Advice Givers, the podcast where real stories meet real solutions. Whether you're leveling up in life, navigating your hustle, or simply looking for wisdom that works, you're in the right place. We bring you straight talk, actionable tips, and uplifting conversations to help you grow in mindset, money, and motivation. Don't just listen, tune in weekly, download your favorite episodes, and if you love what you hear, donate to support the mission. Your support helps us keep sharing the good advice that changes lives. We're building a community of thinkers, doers, dreamers, and believers, and we want you in it. From interviews with entrepreneurs and creatives to personal reflections on real-world challenges, every episode is packed with practical value. Ready to grow with us? Let's get into it.
Today is your lucky day. Today is the day that our $3 website works for you, paying you directly to your PayPal daily. Imagine $3 ongoing continuous payments to your PayPal account. Imagine falling asleep and waking up to $300 in your PayPal account. How would this make you feel? How could this help you? What bills could you pay? What kind of fun could you have? What does that retirement look like now? All for a one-time payment of $3. This website is DFY done for you, fully built and completely hosted, and never stops collecting payments for you. You have spent $3 on coffee on a regular, but that coffee won't help you create multiple streams of income. Click the link below.